Hey, what's up everyone? It is Dividend Grinder. It's been a little bit since I've done a complete portfolio overview. How's it going? Where are my dividends headed? How much am I earning in dividends? So on and so forth. Let's get into the portfolio. So first off, if you follow me on Instagram at dividend underscore grinder, you know that I posted today noting that there were big moves coming. So if we go to the activity page, I sold a lot today and I bought a lot today, but I didn't buy anything extra. I just add it to my current positions. So the 12 cells are a lot of the short-term maturity ETFs. Now I still have a lot in my portfolio still, but after doing an allocation of my portfolio, I realized that 40% were in bonds or short maturity ETFs. It might have actually been higher than that. So I wanted to get a little bit more aggressive with my portfolio. The dividend yield, I would ideally like a little bit higher. When I was looking at my portfolio under the research tab in M1 Finance, I noticed that the dividend yield was around 3.2%, which for me personally is a little bit lower. So I wanted to get that number up a little bit higher. I think my portfolio was actually a little bit too conservative. Even though I like downside protection, I had way too many short maturity or bond ETFs in the portfolio. I wanted to get it back up a little bit. So I increased my purchases on my monthly dividend payers that are mostly REITs, BlackRock Science and Technology, Gladstone Investment Corp. We have a high yield interest rate. We got Main Street Capital Corp. Realty Income Corp, Stag Industrial, the classics that I always included in my monthly dividend portfolios. So we sold a lot of the conservative allocations in Monthly Mania. So if we click that now, Monthly Mania, it started out with 40 slices and now it is down to, I believe, 28 if I'm correct on that. I believe I am correct on that. But as you can see, so even the allocations have differed in terms of targets and actuals. So Mint, for example, I always had at a 7% target. I have lowered that down to 4%. Main Street Capital was at 6. Now I've upped it to 8. The S&P 500 Low Volatility Fund was at 5.9 and now it's lowered to 2%, so on and so forth. So I didn't sell any shares that I wanted to keep in my portfolio, so I didn't do any rebalances of any sort. So pretty much every time I put money into Monthly Mania, it's going to fund the underfunded accounts such as Main Street Capital, something like a Stag Industrial, which is at 5.6 at a 7% target, so on and so forth. So it's not like I'm completely eliminating something like a Mint or something like a low volatility fund. I'm just lowering the allocation, so I won't be progressing any future funds into those. Like I said, I wanted to get the dividend yield back up a little bit. So where are we at overall in the portfolio? First of all, today was a great green day. The market was up, so naturally the portfolio was up as well. And of course, the only two red holdings are the subscriber pie and the high yield dividend, which is voted on by the subscribers. So you guys are just bad luck. What can I say? No, I'm just kidding. I love you all. Anyway, so we have the small cap, the Vanguard small cap, up to $200. The personal love pie is up to $253. PBCE, I funded today. It's at $276. Aerotech, Lockheed Martin, pretty much all the stocks. It was Lockheed Martin and United Technologies led. They had a really good day. You can see it's up 7% overall. Growth keepers, this is Amazon, Microsoft, Visa, and Google. All of them had great days today, and that little pie is up 6.7% overall. GLPI continues to float around the mid 39s, and considering I bought at high 36s, we have a nice gain there at 7%, and Monthly Mania is at green at 3%. So I could have rode this 3-month bull market a little bit better, but nonetheless, we are green, and I'm never going to complain about green. So let's talk about where I want to get this portfolio as it sits right now. So I'm not looking to add too many positions. I like the holdings that I have right now, and I want to continue to fund the current positions I have. I would like to get the PBCE and pie to at least $1,000. I want to get the Growth Keepers pie to around $1,500, and I would like to get the Aero and Tech pie up to $1,000. Anything else is strictly, we'll play it by ear. We'll go from there, see if there's any value, or I'll just keep funding Monthly Mania. Now that's a little bit higher of a dividend yield. Speaking of the dividend yield, let's look at the dividend projections. So can we zoom in on this, Microsoft? Yes, we can. So during my lunch break at work today, I calculated all my holdings, how many shares I have based on M1 Finance's allocations. I calculated the dividend per share, and this is just going on the last dividend that was paid. and my dividend totals. So you see any holding that's colored in orange here is a monthly paying stock. Everything else is quarterly paying, or they don't pay at all, with the exception of one annual payer, BJK, which is VanX Gaming. This is just a gambling ETF. This is in my personal love pie, just a personal addition that I wanted to get in there since I love gambling so much. But we scroll over to the right a little bit. So monthly, I'm getting $63 in dividends. My quarterly payers pay $81, and then I have that one yearly holding from BJK. So yearly, I'm getting $757 from my monthly dividend payers. I'm getting $324 from the quarterlies, $1.60 annually, and that totals out to $1,083 per year. And this is assuming if all my holdings were to go ex-dividend tomorrow and they were to use their last dividend payout, this is how much I would get per year, $1,083. That number is only going to grow, averages out to $90.32. I need to get that number above 100. So the yield right now is about 4.75%. It was in the low 3s before I did all of these changes. So I'm glad to see that dividend yield going up without being too insanely high, without having to worry about any dilution or having to worry about having too low of a yield. I want something a little bit aggressive. That is in my nature. I'm here to try and, compound the dividends as fast as possible. That's why I hold the monthly payers, and 4.7% is something that I would consider sustainable, especially since I've done all my research on the monthly Mania holdings. I was happy with all of them, so I'm not worried at all about funding certain ones higher than others. I've done all the research. I'm comfortable with all the holdings. I have no problem depositing into this one every single day if that's what it boils down to, but no problem. So we are continuing our $30 minimum daily deposits into the portfolio. It's been going great. A lot of the past purchases have been a hell of a lot more than $30. As you can see, today was $31 and yesterday was $30, but man, the week before that, $250, $200, $33, $41, $580, and $30. So we are funding this as aggressively as possible. That's my mentality, to fund it as much as I can, because money sitting in the bank does no good for me. Obviously, I have a little bit saved up just as a safety net, and I also have an emergency fund built up in my E-Trade account, but I'm trying to fund this as aggressively as possible. That's my mentality with investing in general. You want to have an established savings plan or established investing plan. That's the only way you're going to continue on your track to success. So let me know your thoughts on the portfolio below. Do you like it? Are there things that you would improve on, or things that you would do differently in terms of allocations? So I really wanted to get that Vanguard small cap in there. I'm glad that I own at least one share. I believe it's up to 1.3 or 1.4 shares. Let's just scroll down and take a look at it, because I wanted to get some small cap growth into the portfolio. I'm more of a blue chip and monthly payer guy, monthly REIT payers. So it's good to diversify a little bit, and that's why I also have Google and Amazon in the portfolio. I'm not in this one for the dividend yield. I'm in this one for a little bit of growth. There's nothing wrong with having a little bit of growth. Even with this and Google and Amazon and all of the subscriber pie holdings, I'm still at 99% dividend payers in the portfolio. So where is this? So I have 1.35 shares in the Vanguard small cap. I'd like to get this to about 5 shares and I'd be happy with it. I don't know if I would fund it necessarily past that, but around $800 to $1,000 in value would be good with me. But we've discussed the projections that I want to get to. The growth keepers up to 1,500 minimum. Monthly Mania, I would ideally like at least 20K before I start allocating somewhere else, but I would like to get that at least $3,000 higher. And the PPC EM pie, I would love to get to 1,000, along with the Aero and Tech pie, get to 1,000 as well. Let me know your thoughts down below. And if you have not already and you would like to sign up for M1 Finance and give it a whirl yourself, I will leave a referral link in the description below. You click it, you sign up using that link, you invest $100 or more, you will get $10 for free. This has been the Dividend Grinder. Hope you enjoyed this video breakdown of my portfolio. Let me know if you have any questions on it, or if you want to see any different kind of breakout or activities or holdings in specific holdings in the portfolio. Let me know. I'm always interested in hearing what my viewers have to say. This has been the Dividend Grinder. I will see you guys and gals in the next video.